It was such a strong top 3, and at that point I just really felt that any of the girls would make a great Miss Universe. Hey, it's Shadei. Welcome to Tiara Obsessions. Today's video will be a Miss Universe recap video. I will be talking all about the pageant. If you're new to this channel, please make sure you click that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and comment below what was one of your favorite moments, or if you're upset about the results, or just comment anything about what you're thinking about this year's pageant, and let's get into it. So this year's pageant was different for a few reasons. First off, there were 92 contestants, and they said that this year they had the most contestants that they've ever had, and there were 3 new countries that entered the pageant this year. Also, there was this new grouping format. I don't know about you guys, but it kind of took me by surprise, and Miss Universe has never done anything like this before. I do have my thoughts on it. And lastly, they also had new commentators backstage with Ashley Graham. There was Carson Kressley and Tiara. And Carson Kressley, he's basically like a fashion expert, fashion guru. And Tiara, if you guys do not know, she is an amazing model and runway coach, and she usually coaches the girls for Miss USA and Miss Universe. I actually really liked having her commentary backstage because, I mean, she knows the girls, she knows how they walk, and I just love her, and I think that she's amazing. So I really just enjoyed her. Ashley Graham was this year's backstage host again, which I think that she does a really great job at. She's really personal, she looks amazing all the time, and she always wears these amazing gowns that fit her body to the T. So I hope that they continue using her because I think she does a really great job at that. Harvey was back again as a host, and I do love him as being the Miss Universal, so I just think that I love him overall anyway, but I thought that he did a really great job. He was casually bringing up the infamous incident with him and Pia and him announcing the wrong Miss Universe in 2015, and he just was bringing it up, but I guess you know, to him it probably feels like that happened yesterday, and it's something that definitely we all will remember, and Pia was there, so I guess he kind of, you know, had to throw that in. But I'm just hoping, like, further, you know, in the future Miss Universe, he doesn't keep bringing it up because it's really not necessary anymore, because at this point we really don't care. We forgive you, Steve, it's okay. Okay, so let's talk about this new grouping format, which was new, and I was on social media the whole night, which I always am when I'm watching Miss Universe, and you know, lots of people said that they didn't like it, lots of people were confused about it. So this new grouping format basically just put the contestants into 4 different groups. Usually when the contestants are called for semi-finalists, you know, they're just being called. They're not in any specific group by their country or anything like that. But this year they grouped the contestants by their region, and they only allowed 4 girls. 4 girls. I have to say that again. 4 girls. They allowed 4 girls from each region to be picked. So overall they had 16 semi-finalists. They had 4 from the Americas, they had 4 from Africa and Asia Pacific, and they had 4 for Europe, and they had 4 as a wild card group, which would be girls from any of the regions that could possibly be picked into the semifinalist group. For me, this grouping thing, I did think that it was a better choice when it came to just announcing the girls for the first thing in the pageant, because I do feel like sometimes when they're just announcing 80-something or 90-something girls just back to back, it can be a lot, and it can be kind of confusing, and you easily like forget the girls and where they're from. So I think for announcing the girls at the beginning of the pageant, I think that doing the grouping format is an amazing idea. But for picking the semi-finalist girls, the thing that I'm not so sure about for me is that when it comes to certain groups, especially like the Americas was a really strong group, just because it includes South America and North America, and those are the countries that usually do really good at Miss Universe. So to put them all in one group and just have to only pick 4 girls, I thought that was probably really difficult for the judges, because you can only pick 4, and usually when it comes to semifinals for those groups, lots of time there's more than 4 girls that represent from those different countries. And as I was thinking about it, I was thinking that maybe they did this format because they want to get a more diverse group of countries, and let's just keep it real, when it comes to like usually the European countries, they don't do as well. So this new grouping format gave those girls an opportunity to place, which I mean, realistically, they probably would not have placed if it wasn't for this new format. So, I mean, you can say that it's good because it's getting, you know, countries that usually don't place like a chance to maybe have a chance at semi-finalists. I mean, you can also look at it as, you know, it's taking some other girl's spot who otherwise probably would have placed. So that's like the iffy thing when it comes to this new grouping format for me. I don't know if this is going to be like a one-time thing or if this is something they're going to keep implementing. Personally, I'm fine with how they usually do it. But one thing I would say is that I think it definitely makes the competition more competitive. I mean, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. So after they picked the top 16, I was surprised that a few girls did not place. But of course, because it's a new format, there are going to be lots of girls that you expect to place that don't place just because there is not enough room. So I was surprised that France did not place. I was surprised that Haiti did not place. And I also was surprised that Australia didn't place either. So, I mean, there were a few other girls that I was surprised that didn't place, but I was really surprised that those countries specifically did not place because just prior to the pageant, I just thought that they were really strong contestants. So once the semi-finalists were picked, they all competed in swimsuit. And the swimsuit round is usually always one of my favorites. The bathing suits this year, I mean, there was really not anything much different to them than usual. I think they had about maybe like 4 different colors that the contestants wore. I thought it was really interesting that Thailand was the only girl that wore a one-piece bathing suit. You would think that in a competition like Miss Universe, like wearing a one-piece bathing suit may like hinder you in some way, but she looked amazing and she still wound up placing anyway. Just think it goes to show that, you know, one-piece bathing suits may be making a comeback at Miss Universe. I mean, we don't know. Also, I thought that for Ghana, who did make the top 16, who I thought was gorgeous, I thought that her bathing suit color could have been a lot more brighter. I don't remember all the colors, but I know that they had a really pretty like yellow gold kind of colored bathing suit. So I was really surprised when they gave her like this bluish navy kind of color. I thought that it did absolutely nothing for her skin tone, and I just thought that if, you know, she had the yellow, it'll just look a lot better on her. I'm not necessarily meaning that it would have might have helped her place better, but I just didn't think that was a great pick for that color for her swimsuit, and that was just something that just really stood out to me. So after the swimsuit round, then they selected the top 10 girls, and the top 10 girls I thought were basically like the strongest girls out of that group, so I thought they did a pretty good job with picking those girls. And evening gown is my favorite part of the competition because we get to see these amazing gowns, and the girls always just look so beautiful, and it's my favorite. I just love evening gown, and I think pretty much 9 out of 10 girls had some type of sparkle and shimmer and sequins on their gown, which usually doesn't happen. So I thought that was really interesting. The only gown that I really wasn't a huge fan of was I believe Spain's gown, and she had this like white gown. I think that it had like these white, I don't know if they were sequins or sparkles or whatever, but it had like this like furry kind of boa kind of looking thing like on the top of her gown, and I think like down her body basically. I don't know, I just wasn't a huge fan of it. Also, I really love South America's gown. I just loved like that nude color on her and on her skin. I just thought that it looked really amazing. I thought Thailand's gown was really different, and Thailand usually always has really nice gowns. And I also love Jamaica's gown. Jamaica's gown was just this like stand out, look at me kind of gown. It was bright yellow, it was fitting, it had like this kind of like I don't know if it was like a cape. Everybody on social media was saying how much they loved Jamaica, how much they loved her gown, and Jamaica was a surprise for me when it comes to top 16. But when she made top 16, she definitely worked for her spot, and she showed why she deserved to be there, and I just loved her, and so she was really amazing, looked really confident on stage. Another thing that I did notice, USA and Brazil went right back to back after each other. USA went first and then Brazil went, and you know, it's not that it's a big deal, but Brazil has this huge curly natural hair, and so does Miss USA. So the fact that they went right back to back I think was a disadvantage to Miss USA, because Brazil was just a standout contestant, and I loved Miss Brazil's gown more than I loved USA's gown, even though I loved Miss USA. This year's top 5, all the girls, they had different questions during this round, and I thought that, you know, most of the girls did pretty okay with their questions except for Thailand. She definitely fumbled, and it was a pretty obvious fumble, and once she did that, I knew that automatically she was not gonna make it to the top 3. So this year's top 3 was a really strong top 3. I liked all of the girls, and usually when it comes to like the bottom group of girls, usually I cannot say that. I usually have one girl or maybe 2 out of them that I really want to be Miss Universe, and the other one, you know, I'm probably not rooting for at that moment. They all answered their questions really well. They all looked confident, they all looked beautiful. I did not know which way it was really gonna go, because I thought that any of them could make a really great Miss Universe. In Jamaica, she was gorgeous and stunning and confident, and she just had this like amazing presence on stage, and she spoke very well. And Colombia, she answered her questions well, she looked gorgeous on stage, and she just had this super sweet, cute thing about her. I don't know what it is, but she was very likable. And South Africa, she stood out to me from the very beginning, and I did include her in my predictions video, and so I can say that, you know, one of the girls in my predictions video won, you know, as usual. I thought that she was a strong contestant from the very beginning, even before the pageant started. I think what's really stood out about her, she had this amazing story that you really connected to, and she just had this really genuine spirit about her, and I thought that her sharing her story about her being car hijacked and almost being kidnapped was really something that let people know something personal about her, and knowing that she's strong and how she overcame something that was so tragic, how she used that experience to empower herself and empower other women, I think is really amazing. And I think it's something that, you know, ultimately helped her win the crown. I also liked how this year they are telling the stories of these contestants, and these contestants that are business owners that are completing these different degrees and going to schools and have these exciting careers. I felt like it's becoming more than about beauty, which is really good to see. Also, I did not fully get the purpose of voting in. I don't know how that affected the contestants or the girls that were picked. I'm still kind of confused about that, and I don't think they made that clear enough. Did they pick someone because of that? I mean, I don't know, maybe I missed that. Let me know. So that's gonna be it for this video. Please remember to subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, comment below what you thought about this year's pageant, and please stay tuned, because I will be doing more uploads on this channel on chit chat kind of pageant related topic videos, and maybe some makeup tutorials. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to see that thing. Let me know in the comments below. Also, that's gonna be it, and I will see you in the next video.